Welcome back to PERK'S reCAP podcast, the predictions show. We are picking the games for the wild card round. With me, of course, is Al and Brandon, and we are going to go through this, guys, and start picking playoff games, which is crazy to begin with, that we're already here. And there are some very interesting games, and this was very tough to pick. Because the up and down nature of basically every team in the league is really hard to predict from week to week. So it'll be very interesting to see where we all land. But Al, Brandon, you guys ready to get going?
Yeah, man. Let's dive in, huh?
Yep.
All right. Now, question to you guys. Do you guys want to go AFC, then NFC, or go just in order of when the games are?
I think I have it in order of when the games are, but I don't care, whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah, we'll do it that way then. That's all good. I just wasn't sure which way to go, so that gives me something to work with. I like it. All right. So, starting Saturday at 4:30, we have the Rams at the Panthers. Craig, what do you think about that bad boy?
Well, this is the one that I think I'm the most confident about, which means the Carolina will probably win.
Yeah.
But I have the Rams winning 34-21. Like I said, I think I'm the most confident on this one. Carolina was under 500. They just snuck in. Plus, they did already beat the Rams once. I think the Rams, remember that obviously. And they have much bigger aspirations than this. I think the Rams have got to win this, and they should win it convincingly. So I have 34-21. Joe has 34-17 for the Rams.
Okay, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm right along with you guys. The Rams did lose to the Panthers earlier in the season, but I think that Devontae Adams coming back makes a big difference. Panthers, Bryce Young, as always, is kind of inconsistent, so I just don't see them keeping up. I got Rams 33-18.
Right on. Okay.
34-17.
Yeah. And we're all in a similar mindset here. It's funny because we're all going to pick the Rams, and this was the easiest game to pick for me by far. And like you both mentioned, they just lost to this team in the same stadium a month ago. And we all think, and this is how weird this NFL season is, that we all think this is the easiest game to pick, and we're picking the team that lost that game. I love this season. And they're a 10-point favorite, the Rams.
Yeah, 10.5. Has there ever been as big of a favorite in the wild card round? That's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm sure
on the road, I can't imagine.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Road favorite.
Yeah, man, that's huge. I mean, there's probably something in the history of the NFL that's similar or maybe bigger, but I don't remember one off the top of my head. But that's a big number, man. Yep. So yeah, I'm expecting to see the Rams just come out and whoop them. But we'll see. It'll be really interesting to see if Carolina can pull up one of those, because they've done it all year where you think, they stink. Then they beat somebody you don't think they can. They stink. They beat another good team. So I don't know, man. Maybe they'll surprise us, but I don't see it. I'm going Rams, and I'm going big, 41-17.
Nice.
All right. Now, where does that take us next? Saturday at 8 o'clock. We got, and this is, boy, what a fun game this ought to be in the division matchup that we've seen twice already this year. This will be the third one. Green Bay at Chicago. Brandon, take it.
All right. Love hasn't played in a few weeks, and I think that makes somewhat of a big difference. They said he would have been healthy last week. I know Packers got a couple players back on the defense, and it seems like they are getting healthy at the right time. But I'm riding with the Bears, man. I just think right now they're the better team, but they better make sure that their running game comes out ready to go, because I think that's their real strength. I've got Bears 27-20.
Right on, Craig.
Yeah, I think the Bears are the better team right now. I'm not sure what's going on with Green Bay. They seem a little banged up too, and plus the not playing in the last couple of weeks there for Jordan Love. I don't know. I think this is going to be a war. I think both games earlier in the year were absolute old school kind of like NFC North battles, and I think this is going to be another one. I have the Bears, but I have it as close as you can get. I have 24-23 Bears.
Nice. I can definitely, that makes sense. And Joe?
Oh, Joe, also Bears 27-24.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm going Bears too, and I'm going real close. I thought about taking the Packers here, but because it feels like one of those that could surprise us. And it's a tight spread, man. I don't talk about point spreads a ton, but this one was a little surprising to me. The Bears are only favored by 1.5 at home against a 9-7 team, a 9-7-1 team.
And I think that's moved because when I was looking, the Packers were favored.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder where it is now, because that was last night I looked.
According to ESPN, the Packers are favored by 1.5, but I know lines are different places. So
no, it moved. Yeah, no, maybe I looked at it wrong too. Yeah, that's astonishing. Like none of us are picking the team that's favored on the road here. That's fascinating. But yeah, I'm picking the Bears too. I just like them. I like this whole season. I like the way Caleb Williams has improved. By the way, he came shy of 4,000 by about 60 yards or so.
Yep.
So we didn't get that. Yeah, bummer. But he's going to get there eventually. It looks like they finally got their guy. But yeah, I'm taking the Bears here. I'm taking them 22-20. But this one will be the least surprising upset, I think, if it ends up. It's not even an upset. So. This will be the least surprising game that none of us picked the other team.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that.
Cool. All right. Now, where are we going now? Sunday at 1. Oh, man, this was a fascinating game to pick here. The Bills at the Jaguars. Craig, take it away.
I hate picking this because I want the Jaguars to win. I really do. I want the Jaguars to do well in the playoffs, show well in the playoffs. But at the beginning of the year, all the way back, all those months ago, I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. And there's no Patrick Mahomes to get in their way. There's no Lamar Jackson to get in their way. So I'm going Buffalo. But I'll be rooting for Jacksonville, to be honest. But I'm going Buffalo because that's what I picked earlier, and I would like to be right there if I can. If I can, I'd like that to pan out as well. So I guess I won't be upset no matter who wins. But either way, I'm going Buffalo 30-26. I think it'll be tight. Jacksonville is not to be trifled with, and they will put up a fight. I have no doubt in that, and that defense is going to come to play. I think I probably gave Buffalo too many points. 30 points is probably too much. Jacksonville probably won't give up that. But 30-26. Joe has Buffalo 24-23.
Ooh, nice. Good close. Yeah. Love this. Brandon?
Yeah. When I did this last night, I originally wrote down the Jags. But yeah, interesting. The Bills give up the least amount of passing yards per game. The Jags the least amount of rushing yards. As we talked about, the Jags are top 5 in both offense and defense, so they have the better units on paper. I'm kind of right down the middle with this one, and when you're
record too.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're that close, I feel like you go with the quarterback that you trust more. That's Josh Allen. So I'm going Bills 23-21 in a close one.
Right on. Love it. Love it. Yeah, it's funny because this was a very hard game to pick. I could go either way and be fine with it. But it's funny because in a close game, I go with the home team. I'm taking Jacksonville 33-30.
Nice.
And the other main reason I'm doing it is this Bills team feels more shaky than the last few years of Bills teams.
You have 30.
Yeah, I agree.
You have 33-30, you said?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, something feels off about this Bills team this year, and I haven't been able to put my finger on it. They look awesome, then they look terrible, then they look awesome, and then they look bad, and then, so I don't know. If we get the best version of the Bills, I think they beat the best version of the Jaguars, but I don't know that we're going to get the best version of the Bills, so I'm going Jags.
Yeah, this is the game that it wouldn't surprise me if we look up at halftime and it's like 23-3 Jacksonville. We're like, what the heck is going on? But like the Bills have had those games this year.
Yeah,
So
but then that by the end they still lose, but they lose like 28-26.
Right.
Yeah. So
They'll do something like that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. No, it's a fascinating game, and I can't that. This might be the one I'm looking forward to watching more than any of them.
I forgot to mention, if we're still doing it, Jags are my upset pick.
Oh yeah, I did one.
I didn't do one. I'll find one. Go ahead.
Okay, that's how I leveraged it because I did not know who to pick in this game.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to do that too. I want to do Jacksonville as well because I'm looking at them now, and I was so close on it. And I kind of wanted to root for Jacksonville anyway. So why don't I just make them my upset?
Right on. That makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. Now moving on to Sunday at 4:30. And the Eagles decided not to try, and they get San Francisco for their efforts. San Fran at Philly. Take it away, Craig.
I have a fear. My fear is that the Eagles are going to flip a switch and win the Super Bowl.
I'd love to see it.
I have a fear that they've been holding Saquon Barkley back on purpose all year. And they are going to unleash him. And if they give him 25 to 30 carries every playoff game with the way their defense is playing, which I don't care what anybody says in terms of Houston and Jacksonville and Denver, when their defense is playing its best, they are the best defense in the league still. They have been playing like that. Their defense has won them a few games this year. They've been playing better and better on defense. And I said it before too, defense in the running game wins in the playoffs. And if they've been holding Saquon back specifically to unleash him on the playoffs, and he gets 25 to 30 carries and this defense plays this well, not only are they going to win this game, they might win the whole thing. So I'm going Philadelphia at home 21-18, and it might not even be that close. I almost picked 21-10 because I think that defense is going to shut San Francisco down.
Right on. And Joe.
Joe hates Philadelphia.
Yes. I could have picked this before hearing it.
Wait till you see his power rankings. San Francisco 23-20. Joe's got the Niners winning.
Right on. That's
and I could be wrong. Like if I'm wrong and they don't, Saquon Barkley gets 15 carries and the defense plays pretty good but not great, then they're gonna lose either this round or the next round. Like because their offense, there's no indication to think that their pass offense is gonna carry them or be able to pick it up. We'll have to see. And they've done it before, and there's a winning culture there, so that's another reason why I picked them. But I would not be surprised at all, obviously, if San Francisco wins.
Right on, yeah. No, this one is another one. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised either way.
Yeah. The Niners Seattle game kind of, to me, exposed a little bit of the issue with the Niners and not really having a great passing attack. That's not Christian McCaffrey. And I feel like if you kind of key in on him, not that you're going to necessarily shut him down for too long, but I feel like that is the path to success. In these type of games, I tend to go with who I think has more talent, and I think that's the Eagles. I'm not really going that close either. Eagles 28-17.
Right on. Yeah, I'll take Brandon's score because that would be nice. I went back and forth on this one because I don't know what this Philly team is so hard to figure. The reason I ended up going with Philly is because of their defense. They have one of the best units. I like to talk about units in the playoffs, and their defense is top 3 in the playoffs, no matter how you slice it, I think. And you can make the case, like Craig, that they're the best when they were firing on, and they certainly ratcheted it up towards the end of the season and made a good case for that. So you could also make a case that their offense is a bottom 3 offense for sure. I mean, right there with probably the Steelers and Carolina as the worst 3 offenses in the playoffs. So this is a fascinating game. I could see them losing it, but they did get a nice script from Seattle, like Brandon mentioned, on how to beat these guys. And if they can stop McCaffrey, they win this game. It's as simple as that to me. So, I'm taking them super close though, because I don't know what's going on with this team from week to week. I'm taking them 17-16 Eagles.
Yeah, I think even though I have a kind of low score, 21-18, I think the best way for Philly is a low scoring game.
Yeah, that's been their MO. And, we have also seen Jalen Hurts, who's been above average, but not a top tier quarterback in the NFL in the regular season, be a Super Bowl MVP and play really well in the playoffs. So there's a good chance we'll see him step up again. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't know if they can do it with his offensive coordinator. I don't know. I don't trust this guy even a little bit. So, but we have past performance from Jalen to know that he can step it up in the playoffs. So let's see.
Yep.
All right. Now, where does that take us? Sunday at 8:00. And another really interesting game, the Chargers at the Patriots. Brandon, you want to take this one first?
Yeah. I think the Patriots are kind of catching the Chargers at the right time. 2 straight losses to contenders to close out the season. But by no means do I think this is an easy game for the Patriots. I could easily see the Chargers winning this. Patriots are a young team, at least in terms of their coach and quarterback, even though we think May is an MVP candidate. I'm going the Patriots, but part of me is saying to pick the Chargers. I'm going Patriots 34-29.
Right on. Craig?
Yeah, man, I want to pick the Chargers, but I don't think New England is nearly as good as their record, obviously, and I definitely think they benefited from the soft schedule, and they're going to benefit in this one as well, being at home and playing a team that's banged up and has not been playing well the last couple of weeks. So I got them winning this one, but when they get somebody, at the top of their game, I think they're going to hopefully get bounced, but this isn't it. This isn't the week. So I have 24-19 New England.
Okay. Nice. And Joe?
20-17 New England.
Okay. Yeah, this is a fascinating one. The Chargers just feel like they're falling to pieces to me right now. And maybe obviously they sat a bunch of people, their quarterback especially, in the last week. And maybe they it was just one of those things. And they had a little lull. They had some injuries. They sat some people and they come and they bounce back. But I'm not seeing it. I'm not going to call it. I'm going to take the Patriots. I think the fact that they're at home, and I don't know where the truth is between how good the Patriots are, between the reality of their record and the truth of how good they are. I don't know how far apart that really is. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I think I underestimated them a lot for the first 2 or 3 months of the season. Maybe I'm even overestimating them a little bit now, because I've started to believe more. But I'm taking the Patriots here, and I'm taking them not that close. I'm taking them 31-20. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win this game. But I'm still taking the Patriots fairly big here. That's how I see it going.
Yep.
All right. And moving on to the last one, the Monday Nighter. Boy, we got Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. How about that? Right on out of the ayahuasca tent into the playoffs. We got the Texans at the Steelers. Craig, take it away.
Well, I think the Steelers stink. I don't like the Steelers. I haven't liked them since we've been doing this podcast. I don't like them historically, regardless as well. I want them to lose. I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers coming back. It was a great game. I was rooting for Baltimore, so I'll be rooting for Houston, and I'm actually picking Houston because I think even though it's on the road, I think Houston's the better team. And that defense, I don't know how Pittsburgh's going to score, enough to win the game. I know Houston's offense has their own struggles, but they always seem to do enough, and that's what I have going here. I think they're going to do enough, score 20 points, and hold Pittsburgh to 14. So 20-14, Houston.
Love it. And Joe?
He's got Pittsburgh.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
24-20, Pittsburgh.
I love it. I didn't think anybody would pick Pittsburgh. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Brandon, will you be the second to pick Pittsburgh?
a couple minutes ago I had Pittsburgh down, but I just do not. I've been going back and forth about this since last night when I did this. Because I just haven't loved the way that Houston has won these games, even though they've won. They, as Craig said, they do just enough. And I think in the playoffs, you just can't rely on that. So it's like, if you have one of these close games, to me, it makes all the sense in the world with Steelers, who are like the horseshoe up their rear end team this year. You know what I mean? Like, just makes all the sense in the world that they would win this. I'm going to go Houston 20-17.
Right on. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of game I should really pick Pittsburgh, because I don't believe in them at all in this game. So I should do exactly what I did last week and just take the damn Steelers, but I'm not going to. And I'll like I've said to Craig how many times this season that I'm going to have to either have you punch me in the face from Connecticut or just punch myself if I end up being wrong on this one, because it's clearly laid out for me what I should do here, and I'm going against it. So I'm taking the team that feels like the clear better team to me. I'm taking Houston, and I'm taking them 27-14. But I'm also taking Pittsburgh as my upset team because they're Pittsburgh.
Joe doesn't have an upset, just so you guys know.
Right on. That's all right. I mean, we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. So
yeah, I just did it.
What was your score, Brandon, for Houston?
20-17. I got a close one.
All right. Are you ready for the power rankings?
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating. I love it. This was fun to do. Not easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Are the last four on your list, 11 through 14, some combination of Chargers, Packers, Steelers, Panthers?
Yes.
Wow, we all got the same four last. I think those are the four clear teams that are not as good as everybody else.
I agree. Like I said in the other show, the easiest thing to do on this was slot Carolina in at 14 right off the bat. That was easy. And then from there, it was again, and also there was a clear separation to me between 11 and 14 and 10 and 1, like you just said. So yeah, that's cool that we were on the same page there. That's interesting because there's so much going on in these playoffs that it's kind of surprising to be on the same page with almost anything. So that's pretty cool.
Right. So, okay. Yeah. So we all got Carolina last, right? Right, Brandon?
Yes. Yep.
All right, Brandon, who do you have for number 13 right above them?
Steelers.
Me too. I have the Steelers as well. And Joe has – oh, I'm sorry. Joe has Pittsburgh as his number 13. I have the Chargers as my number 13.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's I have the Steelers.
Okay. All right, number 12, Al?
Okay, so number 12, that's where I have the Packers.
Joe has the Packers at number 12, and I have the Packers at number 12.
Oh, that's right. I also have the Packers as number 12.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so judging by this, you and Brandon and Joe all have the Chargers number 11.
Yes.
And I have Pittsburgh number 11.
Right on.
Now it gets interesting.
It sure does.
Mm-hmm. Top 10. Okay, Brandon, who do you got at number 10?
I have Chicago as my number 10 team.
Okay, I can see that, yeah.
I like them, but I like the other. I guess I couldn't justify putting them over a lot of the other teams, and I like them the least out of the teams that I think are kind of in the bottom tier of these other teams.
Yep.
I can see that logic. Absolutely.
I'm right there with you. I have Chicago number 10.
Right on. I have San Fran at number 10.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, makes sense.
Interesting. Okay, and of course, Joe has Philadelphia number 10.
I knew it. And listen, I'm not going to bitch about that. I get it.
He does not hide his dislike.
I respect it, man.
Okay, Al, who do you got number 9?
Well, this is why I'm not going to bitch at Joe at all, because this is where I have the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're only
one spot. Okay. I have number 9, and I hate to do it. I don't want to, but I have Houston number 9, and actually so does Joe. We both have Houston number 9.
Sorry, guys. I got a call if you were wondering why I went silent there. Sorry about that.
No worries. I was
That's
just saying, me and Joe both have Houston number 9, and I did not like doing that, but I couldn't put them over the other teams.
Right on. Okay.
I've got San Fran as my number 9.
Okay.
They dropped, I think, all the way from 2 last week. I believe I had them after that loss.
Yeah, they were in my top 5 for sure. I had them number 5, and they dropped to 10 for me.
Yeah, Brandon, you had them number 2. I had them number 2 as well, which was why I didn't drop them as far, but I probably should have, but you'll see where I have them. All right. Brandon, number 8.
So number 8, I have Philadelphia. But it's funny because Philadelphia is one of the teams I think even though I hate to say it, I think they're one of the teams I trust the most. I can see going far, as you said, Craig, your fear. But they
have the winning pedigree. They've done it.
They do. But I'm just kind of going by where I can kind of justify putting people based on the regular season. And right now, I think Philly has got to be number 8, but it would not shock me at all if they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's different philosophies where you see them, for the regular season, how the regular season ended, where they are, what you think they might do in the playoffs might be how you rank them.
Yeah.
I went towards that. I think you went towards more the regular season ending. I went more towards how I think they're going to do in the playoffs. But there's no wrong way to do it. And there's no, this is all.
Yeah, all these teams are pretty close anyway.
Yeah. Al, who do you have at number 8?
Number 8 is where I have the Buffalo Bills.
So does Joe. And this is where I have Jacksonville, and another team I hate putting this low, but I have Jacksonville number 8.
Right on. Yeah, there's going to be some wide variation moving forward here. This is awesome.
Yep. Okay, Brandon, number 7.
Number 7, I have Houston. I just haven't loved the way that they've looked, even though they've been winning. I like the defense.
Oh, yeah.
The defense, I think, is elite. But just the way that they're scraping by and winning these games, to me, it's just not. I personally couldn't see them going to the Super Bowl, even though I think that they are a really good team.
Yeah, they have the defense for the Super Bowl. They don't have the offense, and the way they win is probably not sustainable in the playoffs against good teams on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, I have New England at number 7, the Patriots, and Joe has San Francisco number 7. So you all are a little lower on San Francisco than I am. Al, who was your number 7?
My number 7 is the Rams.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The Rams lost 2 or 3 games going into the playoffs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Their record is, they have the 5th best record in the NFC. You know what I mean? They are not the Rams we were talking about a month ago.
I saw a ranking that had them at the last few months were really high on them, kind of like I have been, and I saw them again coming into this week, coming into the wild card, and they're still the number 1 team.
That's crazy. I mean, that's just somebody not wanting to come off their own pick. You know what I mean?
No.
Listen, you can make a case that they should be higher than I put them. I totally would listen to that. And I know some of you are, and that's totally cool. I get it. They're a very good team. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Rams end up winning the Super Bowl. But they lost 2 out of their last 3 games.
Yeah, they got to get going.
Yeah, they lost 2 out of their last 3 games. They didn't look good. And in those 2 games they lost, they looked pretty bad. And the Seattle game, it was just a great game. But the other one, they looked really bad. And so I can't make a case they're the hottest team going into the playoffs or deserve a number one power ranking. Not even close, personally.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I will give you guys Joe's number 6 team, and that is Chicago.
Okay.
And Brandon, who your number 6?
I've got the Bills as my number 6. And
I'm right there with you. We're Simpicato. I have Buffalo number 6 as well.
Yeah, another team that I wouldn't really surprise me if they went to the Super Bowl. I probably have more faith in them than a couple of the teams that I have ahead of them in the power rankings. But
me too.
But I couldn't justify putting them that high, based on how they've kind of gone in the second half of the year.
They're kind of the AFC Rams to me.
Yeah.
Yep, and that was my Super Bowl at the beginning, was Buffalo and the Rams.
That's right. Yeah, mine was Buffalo Eagles.
Yep. So who's your number 6, Al?
Well, you guys are on the same page, you and Brandon. Me and Joe are on the same page. I have Chicago at number 6.
Nice. And so, okay, so we got some differences in Chicago. You guys are 6. I have them at me and Brandon have them at 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's going to be some very different things. No doubt. That's one of them for sure.
Chicago finished off the season with 2 losses, so.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they would have been a lot higher for me, not for that, because they won a tough division, and
Yep.
they're a big reason the Detroit Lions are in the playoffs. Is that the Chicago Bears were so good this year, so they smushed them out of some space. So yeah, they are not to be trifled with. And listen, the other big factor for me with Chicago, and the reason I picked them. One of the big reasons I picked them in the first week is they are still an improving team. This is a first year with Ben Johnson. They're getting better all the time. Yeah. So, there's still room for growth on this team. Plenty of it. They have a second-year quarterback and a first-year head coach who've been getting better and better as the season go on. So I think there's a chance this is another team that wouldn't surprise me if they lost in the first round or won the Super Bowl. But I think they're in that conversation for me because of those factors.
Yep.
Okay. All right, my number 5 team now, this is where I have San Francisco. Much higher than you guys.
Yeah, I had them 10. Where did you have them, Brandon?
I had them 9.
Okay.
And I've got them 5.
Right on.
Joe's number 5 is Jacksonville.
Okay.
And Al, who do you have number 5?
This is where I have the Texans.
Okay, yep. And Brandon?
I've got the Broncos number 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're a 1 seed. I just didn't. This is kind of where I'm saying I'm merging kind of how I feel but I just don't love the way that they kind of play down to their competition throughout the year. They kind of had a gimme in week 18. So the defense is dominant enough that, if they offense just plays decent, they should have success in the postseason. But I'd be lying if I said I had a ton of faith in them going forward.
Interesting.
I understand that. I totally get it. Like I said last week, they remind me of you might as well call them the Denver Eagles, the way they played this year. You know what I mean? They've been a little better version of the Eagles to me, where they play down to their competition. Their offense is a mystery at times, and their offense has been better than the Eagles, but not much. And their defense is excellent and can win games for them.
Yep. All right. My number 4, this is where I have the Eagles. And this is more of a, obviously way up from you guys. This is more of my fear and more of just thinking about how I can totally see them turning Saquon loose and playing great defense and really annoying the crap out of me in the process. So I'm expecting that. Joe has New England number 4.
Okay.
And Brandon, you're number 4?
I also have New England number 4.
Okay, Al?
All right. I have Denver number 4.
Oh, okay. You guys are a little lower on Denver. I like it.
Yeah, I even though we're one slot different, my thoughts on Denver are very similar to Brandon's. We're pretty much on the same page here, I think.
Okay. My number 3 is the Rams.
Right on, and I get that. I'm down all the way down at 7 with them, but I totally get it.
Yep. Brandon, your number 3?
My number 3 is also the Rams. Kind of has something to do with, I think they're a different team when they have Devontae Adams. So going in with the Rams with that extra weapon, to me, I think even though they didn't have as impressive as like the last few games, I think that they're still kind of on that pedigree.
Yeah. I don't know why in my mind, and it's probably just a flawed thought, in my mind on a neutral field, I don't think I'd take anybody to beat them. Nobody.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's
Even Seattle, none of them. I would take the Rams over every team in the league.
I think they're right there. They check pretty much every box except for that they sometimes just don't play the way they should. So
yeah, well, they don't have the MVP. So
they have the MVP. If you want to pick at them, it's their defense.
Yeah. Yep.
They do not have what I would consider a championship defense, but that doesn't matter that much this year because they do have they have the best offense, I think, in the playoffs. Is there a dispute on that? I'm trying to think.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, no. We're looking through it right now. No, I would take the Rams offense over any offense in this playoffs.
And their defense isn't terrible. It's just not great.
And that's middle of the pack.
Yeah. So who is your number 3 team?
Mine is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I love that they're that high. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it took a long time, but I finally am believing. And now they'll lose in the first round of the
playoffs. Yeah. Joe's number 3 is also the Rams.
Oh, wow. All 3 of you guys.
Wow. Yep. All right, man.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this number 2 is going to be different for a lot of us because me and Joe both have Denver as our number 2 team, which means you guys both have a different number 2 team because you guys both already took Denver. So, Brandon, who's your number 2?
So my number 2 is the Jags. Now, I did pick Buffalo to win because I do have more faith in Buffalo. But based on how Jacksonville has looked in the last half of the year, they beat Denver handily and everything. I think they deserve this number 2 slot, but I don't think they're going that far.
Okay. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the faith in them to some degree. And it's just fun to see a new team in the playoffs. And there's a few of them I'm excited about.
Yeah. This is a fun year for this. Definitely. There's some neat stuff. And my number 2, and this is very surprising to me and probably Craig because he's heard my thoughts on this team all the way through the season. My number 2 is the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, you also mentioned that you believe now. You've been turned.
And I believe relative to what this season is. You know what I mean? Because there's no one team, like we've talked about, that stands out, heads and shoulders, even though it looks like we're all going to have the same number 1. But I don't think anybody thinks they're heads and shoulders above anybody in this list. So
no.
It's a fascinating year. And, these guys went 14-3. They have a very good D. It's not quite in there with maybe the Eagles, the Broncos, and the Texans.
But it's probably next.
It's right. It's that next tier. I agree. I totally agree. Better than the Rams, not as good as those other 3. It's somewhere in that in between. So they're a fascinating team to me. I mean, they have arguably the second best quarterback in football all of a sudden. You know what I mean? At least this year he was, so.
Good running game now. Good running game too with the 2 guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you have a good running game. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you have a good defense. That's a recipe. And you have home games until and unless you have to play the Broncos.
Yep. I'm pretty sure nobody was lower than me coming into the season. If Craig remembers the preseason pod, I thought they were going to be like 4 wins. Like I just didn't see it at all. I was just.
I wasn't far. I think I picked them for 5 or 6.
Yeah, I just didn't see. I mean, Vrabel was coming in, and obviously he's been good with Tennessee, but I just didn't know what to expect. First year of a new regime, Drake May, even if he's decent, like I didn't see his skill position guys. So I didn't see it, but they definitely proved me wrong.
Yeah, you guys
right there with you, man. I will own up to all of that too, because I was dead wrong on that team. Was it Joe? Did Joe pick them for the playoffs or something, Craig? Or
I don't know. I might be able to go back.
Maybe a winning record. I'm sorry to ask you something that's hard to answer on the spot, but and we can figure it out for another time if you can't find it now. But very few people there were some people picking them for a winning record because of the and everybody that did it pointed to the schedule,
Yeah.
But I didn't see anybody picking them to win a division or do anything close to what they've done this year. And most people were on closer to me and Brandon than the other side. So, big credit to this team this year. They exceeded my expectations by far. And I believed a little bit more and a little bit more as the season goes on. And, I'm fully on board now. I'm going number 2.
Okay. I believe I have Joe's. Yeah, I think. Jeez. No, he picked them to go 8-9.
Okay. Which I probably still thought was a little nuts at the time.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, fascinating year. Fascinating year for the Patriots and the whole league. I love it.
I think that's his pick. I labeled yours. I labeled Ty's. I labeled mine, but I didn't label mine or Joe's. Put them on the same page, and I don't know which is, and I can't tell which is which.
What are the 2 records?
Yeah, I did this weird. I don't know now. I can't even figure it. I separated the AFC and the NFC. That could be my pick of them going 8-9. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I have Joe's.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, that is one heck of a franchise turnaround in 1 year.
Right, and I didn't write Brandon's down either because we did the pod, so I figured that's just on the pod if we need it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was either 4 or 5 wins, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I was somewhere in the ballpark with you too. I can't remember either, but I was in that ballpark.
But anyway,
I love it.
I was the low man on New England by a lot.
You had 7, was it?
I have them 7. Brandon, you had them 4. Joe has them 4, and Al has them 2. So I was definitely the low man on New England.
Well, this is the kind of year it is, Craig, that I didn't even blink when you said them at 7, and I had them at 2. You know what I mean? Like right. Doesn't surprise me. There's a good case to be made that the number 2 team with number 2 team in the AFC with the 14-3 record is the number 7 team in the playoffs. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but Craig, once again, I kind of went by achievement to some degree. And so if we're picking, but I will say I did pick them to win this week against the Chargers, who are one of the few teams I think I would pick them to win against. But I do kind of feel like you. I think that once they face some tougher competition, I could easily see them losing. But it'll be interesting.
It definitely will. And I'll say this too. If any team wins this weekend, whoever it is, I'm not going to be surprised by anything. Any of them.
Yeah. Well, the only one that was surprised, you know what? Not even the Carolina will surprise me because it just beat the Rams 5 weeks ago.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Carolina would be the team, but not really.
Yeah. That would be perfect for their whole season. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be surprised if that makes sense. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, okay.
And I'd be surprised too if there's a blowout in some of these.
Yeah, a blowout would surprise me. Carolina would be a mild surprise, and nothing else would even make me raise an eyebrow, whether the outcome of any game.
Yeah. I was trying to pick some spreads that were a little bit more because, the history of this is that all these games aren't going to be 3-point games, even though they feel like it.
Right.
But it's tough to predict which ones.
Yeah, the biggest spread I saw, other than that 10-pointer, was 3.5.
Yeah.
In 3 different games.
These all feel like they're going to be tight.
Yeah. This is what a fun, really fun, wide open wild card weekend. This is exciting.
All right, guys, we should get to the news of the week. Black Monday came and went, and there was definitely some casualties.
Woo!
Let's start off with, I think the first one. Well, let's not forget Brian Daboll was fired a while ago, and Callahan for Tennessee. Tennessee and the Giants have were first to have head coaching vacancies. And then Atlanta was the first team. Raheem Morris got let go. Anybody surprised there?
No.
Listen, I was calling for him about 6 weeks into the season. I'm not a big Raheem Morris fan, other than as a defensive coordinator. But I was a little surprised because of the way they finished up the season. They won 4 in a row to end the season, and he got fired, and he ended up with the same record as the team that won the division, even though it's under 500 by a game. So I was a little surprised, but not stunned. Very similar to how Brandon described if Carolina would win this weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what about the Browns firing Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year?
Yeah, not surprising to me at all. And Stefanski's going to go down as one of the most head-scratching 2-time head coach of the year winners in the history of this league. The coach of the year has become a little silly in the way the NFL MVP has become a little bit silly, in that the NFL MVP has become a quarterback-only award, which is understandable, but a little silly. The coach award has become what coach has the lowest expectations in the beginning of the season and wins the most games above that expectation.
By the way,
because Kevin Stefanski has more head coach of the year awards in the last 10 years than Andy Reid.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is there any doubt that Vrabel's going to win it this year?
I mean, listen, it's between him. It's between him and Duval, Sean Payton. I mean, there's like 8 good candidates this year, man. You know what I mean?
I think Vrabel's got the inside track on it.
I mean, Vrabel's, that's one award I didn't look at the odds for. Let's see where that's at.
Yeah, I thought it was Mike McDonald.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle, yeah. I mean, that's a great pick, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Yeah, I look at Coach of the Year kind of like the most improved player in the NBA, where it's like the criteria is just so wide open that you don't really know is it somebody like a team that you thought was going to be terrible and they end up being okay, or is it a team that ends up being okay and you think is going to be great, or is it actual coaching moves? You don't really know. Usually it ends up being, I think, the team that like, all right, you were okay last year, and then you went to be, now you're a Super Bowl contender or you're a real playoff contender.
Yeah, Vrabel's the favorite, minus 400, then Mike McDonald, then Liam Cohen, then Sean Payton, Ben Johnson. Kyle Shanahan's another name I wanted to bring up because I've been hard on that guy over the years because I think he's come up short in the clutch a couple times. But he earned every penny, and he gets, not that he gives a flying crap about what I think, but he's got me off his back with the coaching job he did this year, with the amount of injuries they had to take them into the playoffs as with a better record than the division winner they're facing. Was I don't think he's going to win the award, and I wouldn't vote for him, but I was very impressed with what he did this year. And can't go without mentioning D'Amico Ryans too. He's not going to win it because is he who won it last year?
I think so.
Yeah, so they're never going to give it to a guy who had a similar amount of success as he had the year before. But the way this season started for the Texans and the way they bounced back showed a lot about the kind of leader he is. So
what's strange, I find a little strange about your take on Stefanski is the fact that he's one of the most sought after coaches now. Like people are very high on him.
Yeah, I'm in all of the texts with my family and other people about the Giants vacancy, and online I see everybody.
Well, it's Stefanski.
Before Harbaugh, the Harbaugh news. Everybody
exactly. He's now the number. He's now the bridesmaid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but I'm just saying he's still that regarded, and somebody's going to get him and be very happy about it. But like you said, Al, I don't really quite understand what the hubbub is about him. Why people are enamored with him coming off of the years with Cleveland.
I'm with you, man. He took the Browns to the playoffs 2 times, or wait, one. Yes, 2 times. His best record was 11-6, and he faded out horribly.
So his playoff win, he didn't even coach.
That's right.
He had COVID.
That's right. Yeah, great point. And he's 45 and 56 overall. So
And
I don't
people
understand the
loved
hubbub.
and before Harbaugh, the Giants fans. I was listening last night on my way home from work. I have like a 3-hour commute or 2.5-hour commute for 2.5 hours straight. It was nothing but people calling. Not last night, the night before. I'm sorry. People calling about wanting Stefanski all night long for the
That's
Giants.
fascinating. I would go to the airport and pick him up and drive him right to the Giants complex. I would have zero. I wouldn't mind at all if they hired him.
The funny thing is about the coaching, I feel like it's a lot of it ends up being narrative. Like what is attached to this coach? Because Craig, you could probably lament this guy, but Mike McCarthy, I think his concepts are outdated and all that. But usually, if you have him, you're going to compete.
Well, I mean, he didn't do enough for me. Dallas wanting to win a championship, but the guy won 12 games in a row, 12 games, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, so it's just kind of funny to me how Stefanski is like propped up. I know he won Coach of the Year, but like
everybody goes crazy for Harbaugh. McCarthy is arguably a better coach. His record,
their records around the same.
Yeah, his record's the same. His playoff record's the same. One Super Bowl, like they're basically identical, and they both have good resumes in terms of developing quarterbacks. So why is McCarthy kind of looked down upon, and Harbaugh is propped up, where McCarthy's just as good? There's no difference.
And Craig, let me jump in on that real quick because you can make a case, as you just stated very well, between those two guys, McCarthy and Harbaugh. What you can't is make a case for Stefanski over McCarthy. And so many people seem to be right now. It blows my mind.
They were all talking about McCarthy during the season, and then as soon as Stefanski got fired, they all wanted Stefanski, and they all put McCarthy to the side. I think McCarthy for the Giants would be great because he develops quarterbacks. He developed Aaron Rodgers. He helped Dak go on to another level. He would be very good with Dart for sure. And I guess Harbaugh does too to some degree, but I think McCarthy kind of did it twice and Harbaugh did it once. I don't know. I think McCarthy or Harbaugh would be good for the Giants. So hopefully they get Stefanski.
Perfect.
My feeling is I think I prefer Harbaugh over everybody else, but I do have my concerns, as you guys have known it around the podcast the last few weeks. I've said I don't really like the Ravens game plan, and I don't know how much of that is on Monken or on him or anybody else, but I don't really love the game plan. They've blown a bunch of leads over the last few years. He hasn't really been that great at managing games. I do like how he's developed quarterbacks as well as it does seem like he's the adult in the room that the Giants need. And that's one of the things people lament about Stefanski is it seems like there's no accountability on his teams. It was something that some of the players have said. So I'm good there. So I think I'd go Harbaugh over McCarthy, but I'm not as against it as a lot of the fans are.
I just don't understand why McCarthy's got this stigma attached to him. I don't get it. His last time he was in the league, his last year was just a couple years ago. And the year before that, he went 12-5 and was in the playoffs 3 years in a row. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, it's weird how this kind of thing. It's happened to coaches over time too. It's like, I remember when like Brian Billick just faded from the NFL. Like he would talk about wanting jobs, and the guy was a coach of one of the greatest teams I've ever seen in my life. And then he's just out of the league 2 years later, forever, in his 50s.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sometimes stuff like that just happens, and I don't get it. Sometimes it's the guy. He wants a break. Jimmy Johnson took his break, went back to the Dolphins, made it clear he was, he wants to do his hair and talk football on Fox, and that's it. And that's cool. But when guys still want to coach and they're good and they don't get the chance over some of the people we're going to see hired this year are going to be ridiculous. And if McCarthy isn't hired and if McCarthy never becomes a head coach again, it's going to be astonishing.
Yeah. But I think that's on the table. I think that's a possibility.
I'm with you, man. It's crazy that's crazy. The case.
All right. Getting through some of these other ones, I'm going to rattle off a few here. Pete Carroll, no surprise, game passed them by. Jonathan Gannon in Arizona, no surprise, they underachieve every year.
Some people were surprised about that, though. That was the only thing surprising about that firing to me.
Was that there were people surprised by it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he did an awful job. I mean, the last couple of years especially. So I like Jonathan Gannon. He was the DC for the Eagles, and he's a good DC. And there's going to be a good defensive coordinator on the market for a team that needs one. Craig.
Yes. Come to Dallas. Actually, you know who I want for Dallas? I want Al Harris.
Oh, well, you and I have an Al Harris thing because he was a great Eagle. So I dig that. I get that.
He was our defensive backs coach for a little while, and that was when remember when Dallas was leading the league in interceptions every year? Mm-hmm. And Diggs had that year where he had like 11 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bland was returning the every interception for a touchdown. That was all during Al Harris. And he was just a phenomenal defensive backs coach. I never saw an impact on a defense from a defensive backs coach that impactful, and that was apparent as soon as he left. All those interceptions kind of slowed down, and I would love, now that he's elevating himself in the league and now he's at the defensive coordinator position, I would definitely give him a shot. That's who I want.
I love that, man. I love Al Harris. I've been waiting for him to get his chance. So that'd be cool.
Fiery, you can really rally around him.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that it came with the Cowboys, but it makes sense because he was with them and they have the opening. So yeah, that's a good call.
Yep.
All right, so the last one obviously is Harbaugh. So we're going to speculate a little bit, nothing crazy, but I just want real quick. We don't have to go along with this at all. Who do you think is going where? Or who do you think is maybe the most obvious?
I think Brian Flores to the Ravens. That just feels like a fit to me.
That's a great call. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Flores is a lock and should be to get a job this offseason. Yeah, I mean, you look at that Viking team and how they got to 9-8 this year. I mean, it's defense. So, plus he got people still think he got screwed over in Miami. I'm not going to make that case because he didn't have a great record, so it's hard to say he got screwed. But he didn't get a much of a shot there, that's for sure. And I'd like to see him get another chance too. I like that call.
Yep. I think Cliff Kingsbury it would be smart of him if he went to the Jets to be their offensive coordinator. Then if Glenn sucks, he can take over.
Now, why with Kingsbury? Because, I mean, this guy failed in Arizona. He's an okay offensive coordinator, but he just got fired.
Yeah, offensive coordinator and the fact that he develops quarterbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels.
Well, yeah, but you're not the biggest Kyler Murray guy. I mean, how much did he develop Kyler Murray?
I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy, but he did. Well, then give him credit for Daniels then.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Jaden Daniels looks like the kind of talent that could have done that with Buddy Ryan coaching his offense. So I'm not a big Cliff Kingsbury guy. Maybe but the NFL seems to like him, so you might be right.
Yeah, I mean that's just a thought that I had.
It's a good thought. It's a thought that's out there, and that's why I wanted to ask you, because I don't totally get it. I mean, there's nobody else that just got fired from their coordinator position that is a head coaching candidate, and he is. It's not just you. It's out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I don't see him actually getting a head coaching opportunity though. To me,
that's why I said offensive coordinator.
Yeah, to me, he is an offensive coordinator. I think we've kind of found with some guys, this is the old, who's the old Bieniemy, Dable just with the Giants. Some guys are just coordinators,
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, some guys are just.
Hey, the Jets can get Dable for whatever young quarterback they get.
And look, he's an excellent offensive coordinator, but I think we saw why he's not a head coach.
Yeah. Okay, last thing. There were apparently 7 teams that called John Harbaugh within the first hour after he got fired.
Yeah.
There are only 6 current openings in the NFL other than the Ravens, which obviously they weren't one of the teams. So that means there's an extra team that called him. Who is that extra team that obviously currently has a coach but called on Harbaugh?
Miami.
You think it was Miami? And I don't know, by the way. It's just a mystery team. Nobody knows.
And I'm only saying this because I heard there's a connection between Harbaugh and the Dolphins. I think it's the owner.
Okay. I was thinking maybe the Jets.
And listen, the fact that Aaron Glenn has survived so far is astonishing to me. So that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't really have a better suggestion than that. I think it's probably either one of those two.
Guy last night on the radio said the Cowboys. I love how they just throw the Dallas name attached to everybody every year. Every free agent they're attached to. Every trade, it's them. All the time. They just always attach Dallas's name to it, and they never get him.
That's so funny, man. Yeah. The only more amusing head coaching possibility that I've heard tossed out there this offseason, and boy, would this be fun. I don't think there's a chance in hell it happens, is Dion to the Browns.
He should. That would be great.
Why not?
I mean, it would be awesome. I mean, Dion hasn't done dick as a head coach in college. He stinks. So the fact that there's no way he's going to get hired into the NFL coming off of a 4-win college football season, or 5-win, whatever it was. So I don't think it's really going to happen, but boy, would it be fun. And I'm all for it if it does.
Yeah. And he'd be playing his son. Yeah, absolutely. That would be fantastic. All right. Last thing. John Harbaugh ends where? He's the gold standard right now. Unless Tomlin gets released, then he would be probably ahead of him or right there with him. But right now, it's just Harbaugh. Where does he go?
So looking at the options, unless one of that mystery team is like a playoff team or something.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You know what I think it is? I'm sorry, I said the Jets. No, also, I think it's Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I know they don't like their head coach. Their head coach stinks. I think he's the reason why they can't get over the hump.
So if it's Buffalo and that job is available, I think he's going to Buffalo. But looking at the options of teams that, need coaches, I think the most intriguing are Atlanta and the Giants, I probably would say.
I think the Giants are. They got the quarterback. That's half of the battle right there. Fact that you got the quarterback, you got a nice young core with Scatterboo and Neighbors. You got some defense. The defense didn't play well, but you got Burns. And you got some pieces on defense. You obviously need more, but there's enough there, I think, where Harbaugh I could definitely see him going there. I think that's my pick for where he would go.
Yeah, I was going to agree with that. I think the Giants need accountability, and they need like an adult, somebody to hold guys accountable. That's really what they need. And guys were just kind of giving up during big games.
Don't forget, Abdul Carter played really, really well the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be good. All those, I do agree that because he had the second most pressures dang near all time. He had a crazy amount of pressures.
Second only to Mike Mamula.
Which is
yeah. So I do agree that all right, pressures only mean so much until you get the sack or you do something, but it's still not nothing. So
no, it's not.
So I think he has played generally well all year, but the second half of the year he definitely played better. I do
season with 2 sacks and a forced fumble.
Yeah, I know. So he needed more results ultimately, but I think his play definitely helped.
4 for the year, Craig.
What's that?
We gave him 4 for the year.
Right. So that tells you how poorly he was playing the first half. I'm just saying the last few he played really well.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Let's just not say that he did anything but fall exceedingly shy of expectations, though.
I won't go there. No, I disagree.
I think he definitely fell short. I don't know that it was.
I think he fell short, but I wouldn't say exceedingly. I'd say
I would. You called him the next Lawrence Taylor when we were talking about the draft, Greg, and he had three and a half sacks.
But he might still be.
He wasn't this year.
No, he wasn't. I think he wasn't so bad where that's not even an option anymore. I think that still is.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying this year was a massive disappointment.
I wouldn't say massive.
He was not showing up for meetings. He had less than 5 sacks.
Well, I didn't say he wasn't a knucklehead. He's definitely a knucklehead.
It was a disappointing year for him. But,
yeah, I don't see how you can look at it any other way, honestly.
But yeah, so to wrap this up, I definitely think that Harbaugh to the Giants is the favorite. I think that they need a coach kind of to take them. Not that I'm saying that they're going to be like immediately a playoff contender or anything, but they need someone to harness the talent they have, find the right coordinators, just take control of the team, and I think he can do that.
Although having said all that, they're having Stefanski in the building all day today.
Yeah,
and they went to dinner with him last night.
They've quartered quite a few guys too. I think they were looking at Raheem Morris, a bunch of other guys too.
I wouldn't want anything to do with Raheem Morris.
No, me either. Maybe as a coordinator. But
as a coordinator, I'd be thrilled. Yeah. But head coach, no thank you. He's now failed twice. I have no interest.
Yep. I agree with that for sure. All right. Well, that's our little wrap up on the coaching situations. That's our wrap up on the wild card predictions and game picks and power rankings for the playoffs. Next week we'll be back to review what happened and preview the divisional round. One of these weeks we're going to be able to do both podcasts in one. I'm not sure if that'll be next week or not. What do you guys think? Should we combine? Because we have a lot less games to go over and pick, and we could probably do them in one.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to bring up too that will tie into that is one of these weeks, and I know the NFL does it the week between in the off week of the 2-week Super Bowl thing. We should do an award thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We could do that. How about we do that next week?
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just all the stuff the NFL gives out. Coach of the year, rookie of the year, offensive and defensive rookie of the year, offensive, defensive player of the year, MVP, coach of the year. Am I missing anything?
I think that's everything.
I think that's it.
All right.
Awesome. That sounds great.
So next week, maybe we'll still do 2 next week.
If we do the awards, we probably should do 2, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll do 2 next week, but that'll be the last 2. The week after and moving forward after that, we'll do them all. We'll do everything in one pod.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you have nothing else to add, I'm going to sign off.
Nothing from me, man. Thank you both.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank everybody for listening and